we've now seen a lot of these teams play a good sample size, and we kind of know who the players are in the league right now. Obviously, a few surprises, but I want to get your thoughts on who's been the team that's just been the most dominant out of the gate, that you're kind of like taking a step back, being like, these guys are legitimate contenders.
Is there any questions? The greatest show on surf, not turf, but surf. I do like surf and turf pretty good. But right now, it's all about the surf. It's all about the dolphins. It's all about the penguin. It's about the cheetah. I mean, it's the lion kingdom. It's the animal kingdom. Whatever you want to call it in there. I like the name the greatest show on surf. The Dolphins are doing things that, back in the day, Kurt Warner, Isaac Bruce, Marshall Faulk, Torrey Holt, those are the guys that I think of when I think of that great offense. Every week, these guys are exploding. I mean, for huge gains. Raheem Mostert's had a whole rejuvenation in Miami. Mike McDaniel's probably my favorite coach in the league. He's better than the other Mike I know, who's a coach for the Dallas Cowboys, making a couple questionable calls last night, but we're not going to get into that. But yes, I'm a huge fan of the Dolphins. And when a team puts up 70 points in a game, I mean, you're just sitting there in awe going, okay, just keep putting it on. This isn't, house league where there's like a score limit. They're putting up 70 points against premier defenses, and this week's going to be interesting too against the Eagles on the road. But the Dolphins are my pick as like the most exciting team right now in the league.
When you're watching this team each week going on the field, they're explosive. Like, I don't know if I've seen a team as fast or as intimidating to go up against until, as you mentioned, the greatest show on turf. And obviously, when you think of the AFC and dominance, you think of the Chiefs the past few years, and what Patrick Mahomes does each week is very much domination. But we're talking about a team that is just built for speed. Even if their first half, they're a little slower, they get off to a slow start, like we saw last week against Carolina, giving up 14 right off the bat. This team's never out of it. They just can make one quick play to Tyreek Hill. It's one quick run to Raheem Mostert. And I think Tua Tagovailoa is really cementing himself as not just a system quarterback, a guy who can elevate the play. And to your point, Sam, what we're seeing, a 70 burger a few weeks ago, obviously that's against a Denver Broncos team that is just has no identity right now. But when we think of identity and we think of the Dolphins, it's hard not to think of domination.
Right, and you forgot a couple names there. I mean, Jalen Waddle's kind of been slow to start the season. Devon Achane, this rookie who had like 500 yards in the first 5 games. He's hurt. He's on IR for a little bit, but he's been spectacular. And really, like, there's so many running backs in that running back room. No one even talks about Jeff Wilson Jr., who's still like, not active, and they're not playing him. Salman Ahmed was in the lineup this week, but we're also forgetting, like, this is a team that's like been built to win. And there's one guy that no one talks about because he's been hurt all year and he plays for the Dolphins and is coming back in the season, and that's Jalen Ramsey. I mean, they added Bradley Chubb last year. I mean, obviously we're talking about the offense, and the offense is getting a lot of accolades, but when you're talking about being a serious contender and playing into December, you're going to have tough games against Buffalo, against Kansas City, against Baltimore and Cincinnati and all those tough teams, and you need to have a defense that can make plays because you can't always rely on this offense. I mean, when you look at who they face, right? This is going to be the really big test. The other big test that they had was in Buffalo a few weeks back, and they got, a real reality check in terms of what they could do. They came off that 70 burger. Everyone was talking about them. Is this crazy? Tyreek's on pace for 2,000, and the Buffalo silenced that pretty quickly on the road. Now they're going on the road in a very hostile environment. I mean, you're going to have the Eagles, you're going to have the Phillies fans probably there too. I mean, the Phillies players probably there. It's going to be a wild atmosphere. So I'm very excited about this team. I really like the way they're coached. They're a really smart team. And when you look at all like the speed, the top speeds in the league, it's either Tyreek, Raheem Mostert, or Devon Achane. This team is just fast. They use guys in motions that I've really never seen, where they bring a wide receiver almost into like the tight end tackles position and then bring them out, and then all of a sudden the ball's going this way. And you just don't know how to follow them, especially in man coverage. I don't know a single defense, as good as they are, that can match up with these guys for speed in man coverage. You almost have to play cover 2 and cover 3 to prevent those big plays. And yet when teams still do that, they blow you with a slant or, a crossing route, and then they just go all the way around your defense. So greatest show on surf. I think that's definitely the coolest name I've seen in a long time.